Hi and welcome to another Tabitha's Glass Emporium YouTube video. We're looking at more float jewellery today, which are these ideas. This is stacking float up and putting some powders, or in this effect silver leaf, in between the layers of float, and then cutting the pattern bar you end up with to reveal the side cross section. Now yes, you do need a bit of equipment with this, so maybe you've got a studio out there, you can rent their equipment and use their equipment. Or maybe you have some, but I think this is a great idea for making some cool jewellery using float glass, and today I'm going to show you how to make this. So I've cut some layers of float. This is this 2mm float from the lantern I had, and I'm going to put some powders down, slowly changing the colour. So the first layer will be 100% yellow. Pretty good layer. The thing about Tector is because it's so flat, not Tector, float, because it's so flat, it's very slippy. So you have to be kind of careful when you're moving it around, because it will just slip. So the next layer, I've got some of the yellow in a bowl, and I'm going to add a small amount of green to it and give it a mix. So it'll be a more yellowy green colour. Guys, again, powders, wearing masks, please. So I'll then I'm looking for quite a good saturation of colour, so make sure you can really see it between the layers. So I'm going to have to add a bit more yellow, otherwise I'm going to run out. And then a good dollop of green into this one, so it's going to be more green than the last one. Mixing it up again. It looks greener than the last layer. So again, carefully placing it on top. This concentrated layer. Again, I'm going to add more green, so that we're going pretty green now. Maybe a tiny bit too green, so I'll just add a tiny bit of yellow back in. It's quite hard to gauge unless you're going to really measure it out exactly. That'll be tough to do because I wouldn't know exactly how much powder, and I don't want to make too much. Put this layer on. It's definitely nice and dark, darker, more green. Adding green to it only. And then just green straight from the jar for the last layer. Now I've gone a bit bumpy there. I'm a bit worried that I've got a bit too much on one bit, and now I've displaced too much. Anyway, it should be okay once I push this glass down. Now it's moved it around nicely. Now I've got to move it over, and we'll fuse it all together, and then we can cut it and hopefully expose the fun of the layers. So with the other third of the glass, I've decided to put layers of silver between. Now silver leaf is a bit expensive. I've got to be careful doing it. I've got very sharp scissors here, and I'm just cutting the silver leaf, and I'm going to be placing the silver leaf carefully in between the layers. Now it actually we need to be able to get glass between the layers, so I've cut that a little bit large, and I'm going to have to cut some off the bottom, which I don't like because it's effectively wasting silver, which, you know, who wants to be wasting silver? But I need to make sure that I can see glass all the way around the edge, as I'm pretty sure you have to have glass touching glass, because I'm not sure the glass sticks to the metal. I'm sure someone out there is going to correct me, so I'm again using more glue just to hold this all together in place really carefully. I'm really pushing it down just to make sure that I've got a good strong hold. And I'm going to carry on building up layers with silver in between each one until I have not as many as the other project, but a few. So here are all the layers, which you can see very well, but we're going to put that in for a tack fuse, and then we can cut it up when it comes out to reveal the layers. So here are these two. This is amazing. The silver has turned to gold. So we're going to slice maybe into 3 and then sort of look at it down the side. So I'm looking forward to that one. Weirdly, it looks like the green and brown, the green and yellow mixed together has gone brown. I've actually got another piece here because I used the leftovers on a separate piece I was doing, and it has really gone brown. So those two obviously react together. I haven't done tests on the powders to see, but I still think it could be interesting when it's sliced. We're going to have a look, we'll slice it up on the tile saw and see how that looks, and then have a look at it after that. So I cut these slices off the pattern bar with the powders in it. So it does look kind of black, the middle bit, but I don't mind. I think it's still interesting, and as you can see, I've cold worked them. Now, you know, I believe that, you know, good jewellery is cold worked, but if you don't have the equipment, this is a harder project to do without equipment. But I just want to add a bit of an embellishment. I have Murrine, so it's quite nice to add it. And just literally put, sort of using half a Murrine on one area. As you can see, they're kind of mirror images for the earrings. I drilled these because they're transparent. I kind of prefer drilling and using that as a method to secure the jewellery rather than gluing on bales. But again, if you don't have a drill, that may not be possible. And then I'm going to do the same on this one. And you can see not only have I drilled them, but I mitered, I've cut at an angle, I've ground at an angle the bottom of them to give them this sort of extra bit of dimension. So those are ready. They're going to go in the kiln like this. Nice tack fuse. It will fire polish up this bit I've ground. And we can see how they look when they come out. And then the silver. Now the silver was really interesting. I was talking about it when I was putting it together, that you needed space between the silver to make sure that the glass stuck. Otherwise it didn't. And the silver was very... there's not a lot of glass space, so the only thing that's gluing this together is this little space at the top and bottom. So when I was starting doing stuff with them, literally they broke apart. But I think those are two quite nice earrings, and I made a little kind of necklace to go with them here. And I'm literally just going to put these are some of our Float Murrine, and so actually that will be the top of the earrings, and it also helps to hide the bales because these are too delicate to glue. And then again, we're going to just have a couple at the top of the necklace, which will also help to hide the bale. So we're just doing that, and that will be a pair of earrings and a necklace set to go together. I am also just doing, I kind of had this weird one that when I cut it, it broke so interestingly. I'm just going to try and get that in the kiln. I did manage to drill holes in this, but it is pretty delicate, and I will see whether just tack fusing them to fire polish them up, how they'll look on their own without putting any Murrine on them. So those can go in the kiln. So here these are out of the kiln. I really love the gold you get down the side. It's sort of really pretty because when the jewellery moves, it kind of either looks kind of clear or brown or gold. It's fascinating the fact that some of them look brown or to one side or brown to the other because of the oxidization of the silver, which is a really kind of interesting fact. I think the little Murrine touches on these really work, and that's a tiny amount of Murrine that gives a really kind of pretty look to these jewellery. I also like the one without as well, but I think it's a great use of a small amount of Murrine in these. I really like this technique of using a stack of float glass and putting powders in between, which is a very small amount of material, so makes really elegant jewellery. Now I'm really clear, of course you need a tile saw, you probably need a grinder, all those kind of things to make jewellery like this. But there's often studios out there and you can go and rent and use their equipment and you pay a bit, and that can be a really useful resource to find in your local area. Obviously I'm in Croatia, I don't have that, there's nowhere local I can do that, and I do understand for some of you it's not possible. So this may not be the idea for you, but you could take it and you could make a puddle. I know there's some ebooks out there showing how to make puddles, and then you could break those puddles with either even a hammer and then turn them on their side, and you get a similar kind of effect. So there is always ways of adapting idea and making it your own and using the equipment you have to do that. If you did slightly less stacks, you could even probably cut them with mosaic cutters. So there's always a little ideas you can do with take an idea of mine and make it your own and see what you can do with it. So I hope you've liked this video. I can't wait to see what you guys make with this idea. We've got fantastic resources you can sign up to hear when we're putting out a new video. We have our Facebook page. Most things are always shared on that. We now have our new Facebook group, Tabitha's Glass Emporium, where you can share your projects, and we love to see what you're making with our products. There's signing up to the newsletter on our website, which is tabithasglassemporium.com. And then you'll get notifications of all the new YouTube videos. We just had free shipping the other day, and you'll get notifications when that's happening. So they're all worth signing up for or liking or sharing, and you get great things from that. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.